Watching Kyle's unboxing videos again?
Yeah, he always finds the coolest... No way! A robot dog? Gotta ask where he got it.
Or use your Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra. Just draw a circle around the dog on your screen, and it shows you where to buy it right in the app.
Whoa, I just learned a new trick. And that for once, I beat Kyle to the next big thing.
Circle it, find it with the new Galaxy S24 Ultra and circle the search with Google. Get yours now at Samsung.com. Internet connection required. Results may vary based on visuals.
Bare naked, bare naked, bare naked, ABCs. Welcome to the Bare Naked ABCs, where we discuss every single Bare Naked Lady song from 7 to Y. And this week I have joining me Aaron and Betsy.
Hello.
Hello.
And, you know, I had said before that I didn't think that Stefan was going to be able to make it. And, you know, I'm just going on record. I told you so.
A totiso. A totiso.
Totiso.
Oh, and that's this week's discussion song is I told you is sorry, no, told you so.
You almost said a totiso.
If you've never heard this song before, here is a quick snippet.
You had a problem with your newfound wealth, brought it on yourself. I never told you, I told you so, but I told you so. Have to let it go. Time to let it go.
It is an Ed and Steve song, but Aaron, it is the 11th song on this CD, but what CD is it on?
All right, so it's interesting you said it's an Ed and Steven song, because my initial reaction was this is very Ed, which makes things difficult. When I hear Steven singing, narrows things down. This song, I feel like, could have been on almost any of their albums. My initial thought was Post-Schism, but...
Oh, I would have... If I had not told you it was an Ed and Steven song, I might have...
Well, I actually suspected it was from earlier than I thought, because of something that I'll talk about when we talk about the instrumentation. It's definitely not, I mean, it's not Gordon. I don't think it's Born on a Pirate Ship. I don't think it's Maybe You Should Drive. So I've narrowed it down to Stunt or Maroon. This does not sound like the rest of the stuff that I've heard off of either of those, really. I'm trying to think, like, the production. I think Maroon is a little more stylized, so I'm going to say Stunt against my better judgment. Yeah? Oh, yes. A slow clap from Betsy.
I mean, I was going to try to throw you there for a second and say, well, you know, you left off 3 albums. There's Blam, Blammin', and E2E. Like, you could have gone...
I know. I knew once I heard this element in the music, I knew it was not like well into 2000s. I figured it was like 2000 at most recent. I guess I may as well spill the beans. So,
yeah, what was the element?
There is this very 90s sounding synth. And in fact, it made me think of Snoop Dogg, in particular, Gin and Juice.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that, it's like that really high pitched synth that kind of wobbles around and stuff. It sounds very mid to late 90s hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
So that is why I went with that. I mean, not to say they couldn't be doing a retro thing, but it seemed like that was kind of like that was in at the moment. So, okay, I am very happy with that guess.
Yeah, and that was definitely Kevin.
Yeah. Yeah.
But would you have now? Did you know there's piano in this song? Did you hear piano?
I'd have to listen again. Unfortunately, this week's been crazy for me. I've only been able to listen to this. I usually listen to the songs like well over 10 times. I probably only listened to this one about 5 times all the way through, and I did some rewinding and stuff. I wasn't really actively looking for piano, so off the top of my head, I can't recall. But I think maybe, yeah, now that I think about it, I think the piano could have been hitting chords with the guitar, and that may have blended together to make that sound.
Okay, maybe, because I gotta say, I did not hear it until I was like, and Steven is on piano, and I'm like, wait, what? Wait,
That's
no.
unusual.
Yes.
When does Steven play piano?
Interesting.
And I was like,
Well,
it's gotta
but
be
if it's
really low
done-
in the mix.
Yeah,
If Kevin
could
was
be.
sick during Stunt, maybe he was filling in,
Um,
but maybe not.
no, he got sick toward the end of the recording time, so
Right.
that would make sense. Like it doesn't. There's very little information on this song, so I don't know in what part
know.
of the process this was actually worked through. I wish I knew more about this, but like this is the song that no one ever asks about in any of the interviews around this time. Like they were interviewed up and down, and everyone leaves this one off.
Aw.
Which is so weird because it's such a cryptic song. You would think that they would want a little bit more information about this
Super
song.
cryptic, yeah. Super general, kind of vague, yeah.
And this was the fifth single off this album. This was they released it only on cassette as a single. They're like winding down. Like, let's throw one little more bone out there. Let's see if we can catch anything.
Interesting.
But I wondered why no one ever asks about this song, because I want to know more about it.
Well, I have some questions after reading the lyrics, most definitely.
It's inspired by Lyle Lovett. Ed did say that much. He has come out and said that it was inspired by Lyle Lovett, like the style.
The style?
Okay. I was talking more about. We'll get into. Oh, I'll wait until we discuss the lyrics. I have some questions.
This is not their favorite to play live. They only played it once live during the Stunt tour. So the tour for this album, the one that they're promoting this album on, they only played it once.
Okay.
And then they played it 4 times in 2010 after Steven left. And that's it.
It makes you wonder if they had kind of faith in the song or just.
Yeah, I don't know.
Just
And by
kinda
the way,
like-
Steven has never played it in any of his concerts, including the Live from Homes.
Yeah, I was gonna look it up, and I was having trouble getting access to it actually. So, yeah, and there's only on the B&L archives. There's like 4 or 5 different copies of pretty much the same song with no real ad lib or explanation or anything. There is one YouTube video with some good ad lib to it. Some homoerotic thing by Kevin and everything.
Really?
That was really good ad lib there, but they didn't really discuss the song. They just had some fun ad lib.
The only other time I found it was they did it on Ships and Dip 3 when they did the songwriters group, but they didn't talk about it. He just played it, and when he played it, he flubbed it up 5 times. Matter of fact, at one point he stops himself. He goes, that just before going into the bridge, he goes, that wasn't the right chord. He goes, Alan, meaning Alan Fogel.
Yeah.
He goes, Alan, what chord is that? And Alan yells out, F sharp major. He plays
Was
it.
that
He's like,
Steve?
oh yeah, that's the right one.
Was that Steve?
No, that was Ed.
Oh, really? Usually that's more of a no offense, Steve, but that's kind of.
But, like, he's
Steve, we
flubbed
know
up-
that you know your chords. Please come on the show.
He flubbed up his lines. He flubbed up his chords. Like Ed was messing up left and right. And
if you're not playing it very often, I guess.
well, that's the thing. They're not playing it often,
Seriously.
and it's actually really repetitive when you think about like how the beginning of each line kind of starts. There's a lot of repetition there, and so you're like, wait, which one is this? Is this the I have to let it go? Is this the I never jumped in?
No,
Is
kind of
this the I never
Lead into each other. Yeah.
So
Yep.
well, Aaron, would you like let me just break down quickly some
Please.
music stuff, and then I'll let you get into the big breakdown.
It's going to be a small breakdown because I didn't have a lot of time. So
a mini breakdown.
Jim is playing the electric bass, the arco bass, and the cello on this song. Kevin's playing the electric guitar and synthesizer. Steven again is playing the piano. And then Ed is playing the acoustic guitar and electric guitars. And Tyler's on drums. This one is really weird when it comes down to it. It's a Susan song, but
Susan Rogers.
Yeah, but I don't have any notes saying that she messed with this one, that she made any recommended changes with this one. So most of the mixing would have been done in, I think it's California, when the second half of the mixing was done. But the mixing is really odd because not only do you have the acoustic guitar and drums and Ed's voice very, very forward on both the left and right, but then you have the synth that's higher on the left and the electric guitar that's higher on the right. But the thing that makes this really weird is the next 2 points.
Okay.
The treble is more on the left, and the bass is more on the right. And even more odd, and it might just be because the bass is more on the right, but it actually is louder on the right side than on the left side. So it's mixed louder on that side as well. And I swapped ears with my headphones because maybe it's just because I have a bad ear. Maybe I'm when I swap my earphones around, genuinely, and you look at the mix, the right side mix is mixed heavier and louder than the right side for whatever reason.
Well, it's funny that you mentioned that, Trace, because I, as you know, have hearing damage, and as an audio engineer, that's sort of a nightmare. So my concern is always that I will mix something that sounds perfectly balanced, as all things should be, to me, and then show it to someone else, and they'll be like, "Wow, why is the right ear way louder, or it's the high end is super crispy on the right side?" So I mean, maybe I do think that a lot more audio engineers have tinnitus and hearing loss than you might think. I think it's probably more common. I also kind of think, in a weird way, maybe some of the idiosyncrasies or the little trademarks of different producers, wow, he really likes those cymbals crispy and high. Maybe he can't hear it, or she can't hear it unless they turn it up enough. So I'm always wondering, because it's such a relative thing. I mean, there's always that philosophical conversation of does what I look like red? We both agree that's red, but does it look the same to you? Who knows as far as, what it sounds like. But I think the mix is good. I think it's very nice.
Yeah.
It sounds good.
I didn't notice it ever in the 20 years since this has come out. I've never pulled that out until I specifically was listening to it for that this week.
Gotcha.
Well, I'll have to pay more attention to the mixing in the future because I have no hearing damage at all. So
you can be our
ears.
Objective judge. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll be your robot ears.
I need that.
The other thing I was wondering, and Aaron or Betsy, maybe you can clarify this for me. When you're playing the guitar, do most people play the guitar over the hole that is in the guitar, or do they usually play it below that?
You're asking a bass player.
You mean up the neck or down the neck, where you're strumming it?
Right, because
it depends
when he's strumming it down below the hole, almost to where they connect to the guitar.
Yeah.
Below the Hole would be a great name for a podcast. I'm not sure what about
going there.
Yeah, someone had to. I think it really depends on what kind of sound you want, because on some guitars you can change which pickups are active, right? So if your pickups that are lower down the body of the guitar are active, and you really want to hear, if you're doing maybe muted picking against inactive strings, and you want to pick that up, or if you really want to hear the pluckiness when you pluck the string or strum, you would want to move your pick closer to whatever pickup or pickups are active. So that may be what he was doing there. I'm not sure. It's really very dependent. There's no right or wrong way really to play an instrument, unless you're I don't know. I was gonna I bailed out. I lost confidence. I was gonna slam somebody, but I didn't want to be mean. I'm like, who don't I like? I'm like, I don't feel mean tonight. I'm not drinking the haterade tonight.
Well, Aaron, do you want to give us a quick breakdown?
I can tell you mostly what I wanted to talk about. We already have. I did it too. I told you so. Was or a Totoso, as Ricky from Trailer Park Boys might say, was recorded at almost precisely 94 beats per minute. They were either using a click track and being a little rushy and draggy, don't tell J.K. Simmons, or more likely not using a metronome at all, but really just Tyler is a beast and they're very synchronized. It was the first part of the song, especially, was almost perfectly 94, and then there was I think in the first chorus, or like when they really changed the feel, it changed tempos, but it's very imperceptible unless you're listening for it. I want to say I want to say it's in the key of E major.
Hold on one second, I'll tell you.
Might be wrong.
Hold on a second, and I'll tell you, because I'm going to pull open the Alan Fogel's notes. And since even Ed went to Alan on this song, I think that would probably be the telltale person to go to.
Or it could be A. I did not have time to analyze. I apologize. So I'm just kind of...
don't apologize. You're fine.
Kind of playing it by ear.
So a lot of people had mentioned that it was supposed to be played on Capo 2, which Alan also mentions, and sometimes Ed forgoes that and plays the song a tone lower. It looks like it's in... You could tell me based off from the chords that are being played here, but I'm going to guess it's in the key of G.
G, really? Maybe with a capo that would be A.
Okay, because
you said 2 frets
is G, F sharp, F major 13, E minor 7, C add 9, GB.
Okay, yeah, those are all 2 semitones away from what I have, so that makes sense. Okay, so with the capo, you're playing those chord structures, but you're actually making the sounds of chords that are a whole step or 2 half steps up. So it would be A. Yeah. Okay, good.
There you go.
I think, did I say A first or E first? I can't remember. I'm all over the place.
A.
I don't know, but you did say...
I'm claiming A. I'm claiming A. A. If I'm wrong, please write to me at idon'tcare.goaway.com. .goaway.com? There's no at in that email address. You'll notice intentionally, because I don't want
it's a university address, so it's like .fu.org.
I attended
.fu.edu.
So
University.
Given this, it sticks to that same structure during the whole entire verse. And then for the chorus, it's E7, A7, D, C. It's a D with a lowercase c, so I'm not sure what that's supposed to
Is it
show.
D with a lowercase c?
Yeah.
Is it D over C?
Maybe.
Is there like a line, like a fraction? Because that would be...
No, there's no line. That's what's throwing me.
DC. Is it like...
Diminished
can you screen? I'm really curious now. Can you screenshot
Sure.
this? Because it's going to bother me.
Hold on 1 second here, and then you can actually do it based off from the information.
Yeah. DC in music means like... oh man, I was going to say da capo, but is that correct? I'm so tired. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's like da capo. It's like go to the top.
Right here.
Yeah. DC is like da capo, and there's like da capo el code. Yeah, that looks like a typo to me, sir.
Well, if you look
Looks
up here, he's got it up here as well.
D C.
Whereas what you're playing on the guitar itself.
D C.
So I don't know what he's designating there when he's doing that. Sorry,
Maybe they were trying to say just like a D triad.
Maybe he does have a D specifically.
There's a regular D. Oh yeah, hold on. Let
No.
me examine the difference between those two. What the heck?
And these are specifically the guitar tabs. So
Yeah, this is a problem for me.
if we had Heidi here, she might be able to
I may as well
break
be
that
looking
a
at
little
hieroglyphic. Not entirely. I know I can do tab, but like to translate tab into proper music, like musical notation, is kind of a
Proper
nightmare
music?
for me. Well, nothing. No, I mean, like, look, tablature is a wonderful tool that was invented to help guitarists play music because the guitar is a very weird instrument, and unlike the piano, I cannot look at a guitar and just be like, "Oh, that's a whatever." I have to like count the frets.
Well,
Now,
yeah, I mean,
someone who has played guitar for years and years and years, it's second nature, I'm sure. But yeah, for me, I am a pianist. You'll notice that I accented the T to make sure that that was heard correctly.
Any more notes on the music, Aaron?
Let's see. I noted the Snoop Doggy Dogg synth line. Yeah, I mean, the interesting thing is we just came out of a Silver Ball episode, the final Silver Ball episode, in fact. And, you know, I have given that album a lot of grief for being mostly, with a few very notable exceptions, like Passcode, mostly very samey in as much as it's like the country pop rock ballad album. This song, as I noted earlier, because it's so very Ed, could have honestly would not have sounded completely out of place on Silver Ball. And yet I like it a little better than like the median Powerball. the median. Please send your winning Powerball tickets to the median Silver Ball song. You can tell I'm really tired. I like it a little better than like the median Silver Ball song. I think it's a cut above that kind of material. Not that that's bad, you know. It is what it is, but I don't know. It's just got something it's going for. I like how bright it is, which might have to do with like the mixing you're talking about, or potentially maybe how the guitar is being played. But it's very, I would say crispy. It's a strange term, I know, but like the guitar is very crispy to me. It's like you can really hear the strings resonate, and it's very present and bright. And I like that because I have hearing damage in the higher range. So when people spike the highs just a little bit, I can hear it better, and I like that. But that's just me. How about you two? Let's put you on the spot. You guys break it down.
This song was performed on a guitar with some
I concur.
synthesizer, and there was definitely some bass, and that's about it.
I memean, I think that this is more rock than Toe to Toe, which we talked about just last week. Like
More rock than Toe to Toe? Sorry. Continue.
Toe to Toe is more country than Tojiso.
Yeah, I would
I
agree.
hear more rock elements that are mixed in. It's still the basic kind of feel that Ed goes with, but I feel like this one leans more toward Leave, which is on the same album, and further away from that toe to toe type of feel, which is more, I would say, I don't want to say country, folksy, more folksy, I would say.
Folksy. I like that. Sure.
So what does it all mean? Well, I'm glad you asked. I have no fucking idea.
Well, that's actually one of the things I wanted to know is what do you guys think that this
Okay.
song
I've been waiting.
is about.
I've been waiting this
Please.
entire episode to ask
will be waiting.
a couple of
Yes.
questions. My first question, and Tracy, I hope that you know more about this song than you're letting on, because this is a burning question. Is this song about AIDS?
So that is what people continuously say.
Yeah.
Like when they're
The viral
breaking-
infection that can lay dormant for years.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely seems like it's. But you know what? The other thing was, I thought maybe the lyric, "You had a problem with your newfound wealth, brought it on yourself," makes me think maybe it's about addiction.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe the viral infection line is a metaphor, but I wasn't sure. But then again, you can catch AIDS from needles. So maybe it is. Maybe it's about both.
And the part like pertaining to needles about like it didn't hurt as much as I thought it would, or something like that. Where I never thought that it could be painless, but is, I guess. And then I had myself fooled into needing you. Did I fool you too? Like for the needing of a drug, like the heroin or something.
Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely.
I mean, it could be, but then I went on, and Ed's a cause head, to use a PCU term.
A piece of you?
he does do a lot of causes. I mean, reverb and such. He has only ever once donated to AIDS research, and that was specifically on the album Don't Talk
Don't Stop Believing.
I was thinking it. I was thinking of Betsy in my head,
which wasn't really his album, and we'll get to that when we cover the outside work stuff.
That's more Tyler, right?
That was more Tyler, and Ed was just kind of adding stuff in and helping out. So he didn't really donate. So I would think that if that's what the song was about, he would be a lot more involved in it, and he'd be writing more songs around it. I think probably people are reading into that. In saying that. Not that it can't be, because once again, he's vague enough in this song that you could definitely read into that. But the line that follows that with a viral infection that can incubate for years, caused by affection that has fallen deep into arrears. So basically,
isn't that when you're like your account is overdue?
It is.
Yeah.
It's when you're not paying attention to it, and you're not giving. You are behind on your payments, and you're behind on your payments.
So you say
your debt is about to be collected. Yeah.
Like that could be like you're living on borrowed time.
Your payment.
You've been living a dangerous life for so long. It's about time that bill came due. Was this very sad and also a little messed up that you would write a song called "I Told You So"? But I think to be charitable to Ed, I think it's more like he's kind of talking with himself. Like after, I'm just projecting here or speculating, but like maybe after a friend has passed away, he's kind of like saying like, "Man, I really should have told them so before, like while they were still alive. I should have done something," and feeling that kind of
says
guilt.
That he
maybe
does, and that she doesn't, or that the other person doesn't listen. So
I don't know. Then
honestly, Ed is not as heartless as this song comes across. If that's
I don't
message.
think it's entirely heartless. Is what I was saying. I just think that it's like wow, it's a pretty heavy subject. Is all
What I'm kind of coming at is I think that Ed could totally be giving it this frame of mind. Because we did have Leave earlier on this album, and it could be somehow connected to his brother's death as well.
That could be. Oh my god, yeah, I didn't even think about that.
But the other piece that I think about that is that he could have watched someone else. Like he's dealing with his own loss. He's having a really tough time with loss at this point with his brother. He's written like 4 songs at this point. And the thing that kind of comes back to me about this is I'm wondering if he's then noticing loss in other people and how they're handling it, and he sees someone that is slightly more heartless, and he's like, okay, well, what would it be like to take that point of view? What would it be like to not care, to not or I'm, maybe I will miss you, or maybe I never will. And at the end, he doesn't. I never will. Like, it's not like, or I never will. And then he drops the or. I never will.
Mm-hmm.
And then unfortunately, you have the backup singers going, why? Why, yeah.
I never will.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, wow.
Yeah, that's pretty intense.
To me, it's always been a relationship song. Like, this person has broken off this relationship that just they weren't that attached to, and to me, it connects into is almost like a response song to Shoebox, which was on the album just before this. Especially considering they're doing the Y-I's at the end of it, which pair up with the lie. I'm like, oh, that's they do those things for a reason. Like, interesting.
True.
So to me, that's what this has always been about for me.
I never made that connection, but that's possible.
I love this bridge. Like, this bridge is one of my
it's
favorites.
Another great example of the bridge being the best part.
Viral infection that can incubate for years, caused by affection falling deep into her ears.
My only problem with this bridge is 3 words.
Uh-oh, trouble with Tracy.
I can never get past. Yeah, no, it is. I can't get past these 3 words. Makes me pure.
No medication to procure. Makes me pure. There's no cure. I am sure.
I'm like, it doesn't.
Yeah, it's a little.
It doesn't kind of fit in with the rest of the things being said. It feels almost like I have to come up with a rhyme. Here we go. We'll fill it in here with makes me pure. But it could go along, again, if it has something to do with infections.
Oh, well, yeah. Maybe it's supposed to tag along with the no medication to procure makes me pure, or like to detoxify, whatever. Like the medication is referring to.
Yeah.
I think
it should have maybe gone on to like that same line to kind of be more associated with.
Yeah, there's no comma after procure.
Yeah.
So if you take out the space there, no medication to procure makes me pure. I don't know. It's still. It still isn't.
Yeah, I know. It's
grammatically
really
correct.
Kind of a rabbit hole.
I mean, that really. I can see if that's where he's going with it, why it's in there, but it always irks me, and I can never remember that line because I hate it so much.
I would think that you would remember it.
Yeah.
My brain, I think, naturally just exits it out.
Fair.
But I do like the fact that they work in the words procure and incubate and arrears.
Yeah, that's
arrears.
a good one.
I know.
Arrears,
clearly.
very, very nice. Very nice usage.
And for a long time, I thought they were saying in the years or in your ears.
In the years, yeah.
Like,
that's what it sounds like.
He slurs it a little bit. Affection, falling deep into your ears.
It's a homonym, kind of.
I also, for a long time, thought that this song shouldn't have been "Told You So" because they only say the words a couple, once in the song.
Yeah.
And it's not even at the very beginning. Or they say it twice. Sorry, told you. But it just doesn't. I always mix this one up with Leave because they talk so much about leaving in this song. What do you guys think the line means? I never mentioned how I've prayed for you. Now I've paid for you.
I mean, you could. I mean, this is getting really poetic, but you could say like putting the pennies on the eyes to pay Sharon to bury them into the underworld, or it could be just like I paid emotionally for this, you know.
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys think?
I don't know. So I was saying, let me think on it because I'm not sure.
Let me sleep on it.
Baby, won't you sleep on it? Oh God, I love that song.
It's a great song.
God. It's a great song. Great duet. Well, of course, this might come off as a little dark, but
do tell.
Yeah. Especially in the field I'm in, there's like final expenses for cremations
you're
and things like that,
right.
funerals, etc. But like,
you're right.
You know, I've prayed for you, and now I've paid for you. It might just be for burial or cremation.
Yeah.
If this person has succumbed to whatever addiction or disease, etc. It's a possibility. This song is just very enigmatic and like open to like, I mean, there's clues, like there's little breadcrumbs that it drops every now and then, but it's very, like you said, Tracy, it's very cryptic. It's not
very open
necessarily
to interpretation.
Straightforward. Yep.
Well, and the other line that really is open to interpretation, but it makes me go, I want to know more, is I wasn't sure quite what the whole thing meant, but I'm glad you went.
Yeah, like went to rehab, went to
right,
you know,
like they went to Horde. Like, what are you talking about? You went off, had your little affair, and got AIDS, and I told you not to do it.
Yeah,
like there's so many ways that you could read this song. I do like the last line in that verse though. It is, wow. I had myself fooled into needing you. Did I fool you too?
Did I fool you too? Yeah.
Ouch.
Kind of disenchanted relationship.
Wow.
Speak.
And once again, going back to the break your heart or shoebox thing, like
that
fits in on that other side.
Definitely sounds like break your heart. Yep.
Yeah, it's so many.
I mean, I know Steven's got on record as having like said like he likes people to take from it what they want to take from it.
Yeah.
But it's like instead of it being tangible, like what you can take from it, it's very like trying to grasp a bowl full of Jello. It's really like, I don't know, it could be this, it could be that, I don't know.
Yeah.
So I'm beginning to kind of like it, but it kind of like, I don't know. I like a storytelling song too.
Oh, I mean, if you like a storytelling song,
a little more defined. It's kind of, but again, like really like loosely organized.
I mean, if you like a storytelling song, that's next week.
Oh, is it?
Really? Do tell.
But you know what? I mean, yeah, it is, because I could tell you that maybe Ed would say that in all this confusion, there's something serene.
Maybe he's just a posthumous part of the scene.
Well, in this situation, he probably is.
Yeah. Full circle.
It sounds like the other person's dead.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. Now, a lot of people have said that 1 week is about someone murdering the other person.
That is true.
Maybe
my God.
The first person. That's the first song on this album. Maybe this is Ed responding to that.
How dare you entertain that conspiracy theory, Phil Tracy? I thought you were better than that.
No, I really am not.
Okay, sweet. Now we know where you stand.
Where do you stand?
Where do you stand? I know. Haven't covered that one yet.
I'm so lost right now.
It's another song. Bye.
You won't be lost for that.
Steven. It's just Steven.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was his solo stuff, I think.
It was. So why don't we put some numbers to this? Why don't we discuss what you guys think that this is worth? Boy, it's going to be hard to come up with a rating system for this one.
That's not incredibly dark. How many?
Yeah, I know.
How many pennies?
Ooh, we should do the word that was fun. How many
arrears? I give it 5 rears.
Yeah.
Oh, arrears? I misheard you.
How many rears? How many rear ends?
But arrears is it's a noun, but it's
not a noun.
Don't you dare question my ratings.
What if we go with how many viral infections?
All right.
Is that something we want?
Yeah, I know. Are they all?
Is that a good thing?
Compounding.
Well, don't we want to
be pure and have 0?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Maybe you want.
That's
cures.
true. That's true.
Or I like the Cure.
Oh, there we go. So, how many cures do you give this song?
No, that's much more.
Okay, yeah. How many Robert Smiths?
Aaron, how many cures do you give this song?
Oh, this is a tough one, man. I like it. I don't think it's quite in my best of playlist. I don't think it's like I definitely don't dislike the song. Certainly, like I said before, it's above like the median Silverball song for me. I'd probably give it a good 3.6 cures.
Okay.
Yeah, you got like Robert Smith from the knees up, and then 3 other Robert Smiths. Robert Smith, or I don't know, Robert Smith. We know you listen. Please come on the show.
No one knows anyone else that are part of the Cure. It's just Robert Smith playing all the instruments.
That would be amazing if we could clone Robert Smith and just make a bunch of them.
Yeah.
Robert Smith.
Clone now.
What about you, Betsy? How many cures do you give this song?
I think before I tell you that, I want to tell you that every time I think of the Cure, I think of the Wedding Singer, because he's like, "Oh man, I've been listening to the Cure a lot, and I'm in a really dark place." Not relevant to anything, but just thought I'd share my brain.
Absolutely.
For a second. I'm very similar to Aaron number wise. I really like the song. I like the metaphors and things, but I just really wanted to kind of congeal a little more, like a nice lasagna 2 days after.
Garfield, we know you listen. Come on the show.
Yeah, that's right. Oh my god. So
Jim Davis, you know you listen.
Yeah. I would give this 3.5.
Ooh, okay.
Yours.
Okay. Well, I'm definitely not going to be the hater this week.
I'm not drinking the haterade this time.
Hold on, let me get a sip.
I like this song. Is it on the top end of my ratings for this album? No, this is one of the lower ones on this album. Not the lowest, but is one of the lower ones on this album. Do I like this song more than 1 week? I do.
Really? Okay.
I do. I think 1 week has its place.
Is it just because it was overplayed? Or
oh my god, so bad.
I mean, if you eliminated the fact that you could not escape that song for like at least one summer,
well,
would you still say you like it better than 1 week? Because I really try to judge these songs by their merits and not by not by the my heart will go on effect.
That and the fact that 1 week like means nothing. Literally,
it's about a murder. How dare you?
Chicky China, man. Chicky China.
All right, you know what? I'm going to change that.
No, you know, we're just being silly, man.
No. I just looked at my rating for 1 week, and while it's slow, it's not this slow. I'm going to give this a 4.
Wow.
Which is my lowest rating.
4.0?
It just makes the cut for your playlist.
Nice.
It does. Almost every song on this album makes the cut for my playlist.
I mean, it's a great album. Don't get me wrong.
It is. It is like I said, if your lowest song on an album is a 4, then it's a pretty amazing album. And for me, that's where this kind of stands.
Fair.
We will have one song on this album that is going to dip, but that song will
Not
also
the dance move. Yeah.
I'm very curious.
Yeah, bad way.
But when we hit that song, like it's the one song that I will remove from this album because I just don't believe it belongs on this album.
No, bold words, Tracy.
Yeah, it's
strong feelings, big
not
feelings,
a bad song.
Feelings.
Just I don't think it's right for this album.
Okay,
but we'll get to that in I think like 3, 4. No, about 3 months. About 3 months. So,
wow. Okay.
Not 1 week.
Not 1 week. No. In 1 week, it'll be tonight.
In 1 week, it'll be tonight.
Yes, because in 1 week we'll be discussing tonight is the night I fell asleep at the wheel.
Oh.
Which
are we tagging on Hidden Sun? No, we already did Hidden Sun.
Based purely on the title, I'm guessing this is from Maybe You Should Drive.
That would be apropos.
Indeed.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what you say about this song, Aaron. I mentioned before that this is a song. Next week's song is the song that I have been waiting since the podcast began to play for you because I was like, I really want to know what Aaron's thoughts are on this song.
Well, I am curious.
So I will upload that tonight because I want to give you time to let
serious
this
business
sink in.
But
I will recommend as soon as the song is done, hit stop because the song after this is Hidden Sun. So if you let it go, it will continue.
It immediately. Okay.
You'll know when it's done.
Okay. My curiosity is piqued, sir.
And then after you've done your rating, then listen to it with Hidden Sun because I think that is the only proper way to listen to that song.
Okay.
That's just
detailed instructions this week.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes. It's like when you go to a restaurant and you sit down and they're like, no, you have to eat this in a certain way if you want to get the right flavor.
I've never gone to that fancy of a restaurant, but I've seen it done on TV, so it's pretty much like I've.
Yeah, I don't do it often, but there are times that it is necessity.
Okay.
Well, thank you guys so much for joining me.
Thank you, Tracy.
It's going to be fun to have this discussion. It's fun every week. I always look forward to it. So.
Oh yeah, me too. Have a great weekend, and always good to talk to you both.
You too.
Thank you,
and thanks. That was fun.
To celebrate joining Pantheon Podcasts, Rock Camp, the podcast, the official podcast of Rock and Roll Fantasy Camp, is giving away a guitar signed by Mike Portnoy of Dream Theater, Marty Friedman, formerly of Megadeth, and legendary shredder Zakk Wylde, plus our rockstar counselors like Vinny Appice, Monty Pittman, and more. To enter to win, simply follow, rate, and review our podcast on your preferred platform, and that's all you have to do. For more information, go to rockcamp.com/podcast.